Hello and welcome. On behalf of Questrade and Sprott Money, I'm excited to welcome you to today's webinar on precious metal investing. For today's agenda, we'll provide an introduction to Sprott Money, as well as the types of accounts they offer, and a little bit more about their company's trusted reputation. We'll also hear from Questrade about the products that they offer in the precious metal industry and how you can get started. Our first speaker today is Betty Bargold, commodities and foreign exchange trader with Sprott Money. Betty joined Sprott Money in March 2016 as a trader for precious metals and foreign exchange. Betty has over 15 years of sales and trading experience in precious metals and foreign exchange products at CIBC World Markets. Her experience covers both the retail and institutional markets, and she has proven successful in terms of revenue growth and sales targets. Betty enjoys working in the financial markets, and specifically in the sector of precious metals, where she has followed the gold market for 2 decades. She's very passionate about her work and helping clients achieve success in their goals. With that, I'll hand it over to Betty to tell you a little bit more about Sprott.
Thank you. With Canada's tax time fast approaching, many Canadians are finalizing their decisions on where to invest and deposit their funds for tax sheltering. One of the continuing demands of where to place funds are in physical precious metals held in registered accounts, such as in an RRSP, a TFSA, or a LIRA. Who we are. Sprott Money was established in February of 2008. We are a leading institutional and retail precious metals dealer. We also have an excellent storage program that gives clients the option to store their precious metals in multiple storage facilities in Canada, the U.S., and overseas. We facilitate ownership of precious metals regardless of volume. We pride ourselves on superior servicing by providing our clients with only the highest quality bullion products, in addition to timely and discreet shipment and delivery. What type of accounts do we have available to our clients? One, we have order accounts, and these accounts are at no cost. This account will enable a client to acquire an ID number and proceed with placing an order by phone with us at the office or independently online. As well, as mentioned earlier, we have storage accounts that are available worldwide in several locations. We feel that our reputation has been built on our trusted name, Sprott. Eric Sprott is the owner of Sprott Money. It's privately owned. And a little bit about Mr. Sprott. Sprott Money, again, is a privately held company owned and operated by Eric Sprott. Eric Sprott has earned a recognized standing not only as one of the world's premier gold and silver investors, but also as an expert in the precious metals industry. Mr. Sprott is chairman of Sprott Money Limited. Additionally, he is CEO, CIO, and senior portfolio manager of Sprott Asset Management, LP, and chairman of Sprott. He has been very accurate in his predictions, including foreseeing the current financial crisis. He chronicled the dangers of excessive leverage as well as the bubbles the Fed was creating, while correctly forecasting the tragic collapse of the housing and financial markets in 2008. Eric Sprott has accumulated over 40 years of experience in the investment industry. To discuss some of Sprott Money versus some of our other bullion dealer competitors, how we compare ourselves is, or how to compare ourselves with competitors is, we suggest clients do due diligence by conducting a Google search for the bullion dealer that they may be dealing with, find out who the owners are, check for their reputation, Google any fraudulent activities that is on the dealer. Do they have any personal capital invested in the company? Check for track record of post-sale service, which is very important, especially in precious metals. A lot of our clients want discretion and confidentiality. Check for BBB ratings and any other testimonials that you can find online. So comparing some other precious metals channels that clients can invest in registered accounts, two of the most popular accounts are, investments are exchange traded funds, otherwise known as ETFs, or some mutual funds as well. These are a very easy way to invest in precious metals. However, they do come with some risk. They are typically in paper form, and they represent a number of ounces that are unallocated. With ETFs, there are often claims on the ounces that are backed by actual physical metal. And if that ETF, that is, if the ETF has any physical backing. In times of financial crisis, there are claims on the gold backing it, and as James Rickard once said, only physical gold in non-bank custody is real gold. Metals held in a registered account with Questrade is not held in a bank, but in a private custody with Brinks. Also, we like to keep in mind that ETFs can have an eroding effect on their underlying prices. Many of the physically backed funds sell a portion of the bullion in order to pay for their expenses. Over time, this can cause share prices to track less than spot. For example, by the end of 2011, the popular iShares Silver Trust corresponded to 3.6% less silver since its launch in 2006, as fees have eroded the amount of bullion it has. Again, the bullion held in the investor's account will have no claims on it because it is not part of another group of assets. It is 100% held in the client's name at a depository, segregated and allocated as well. Another precious metal channel that clients can invest with a registered account is gold and silver certificates. Certificates are often issued and sold by banks, large financial banks. They are paper certs representing also a number of ounces held in the bank's vault, registered in your name. Certificates can be convenient, but the positions are digital until the ounces are actually converted into physical. There are several costs that are associated with converting your certificate into bullion. There are refining fees that you don't pay when you initially purchase your ounces in a certificate, but later to convert it, there are bar fees and coin premiums that are added. As well, there are safekeeping and storage fees, which are charged and taxed. Again, certificates fall under the banking umbrella. So examples of some of the precious metal products that Sprott Money offers. All of our products are investment-grade coins and bars. They are LBMA and COMEX certified, which means they are recognized worldwide. They have been regulated and they are tradable. All of our gold have a purity of 4 nines, and our silver has 3 nines plus, which basically means the gold has 99.99% gold content and 0.01 filler. And same with the silver, is 99.9% silver content and only 0.01 filler. We only use reputable mints that are recognized worldwide, such as Royal Canadian Mint, which is our Canadian Crown Corporation, Perth Mint in Australia, and Valcambi in Switzerland. Here are some images of some of the products that we offer. Gold and silver bars, our Sprott rounds, and the Canadian maple leaf coin that one is a gold example. Some common questions that come up from some of our investors and clients are, why invest in precious metals? Well, to invest in precious metals means you are not only preserving your wealth for the long term, but also ensuring that you have easy liquidation when you are ready to cash in on them. We like to think of precious metals as a hard asset, which has very little, if not any, counterparty risk. Bullion offers diversification. It has historical value. It has a steady performance versus other investments over time. It's a stable commodity relative to political money, and it can also protect against inflation. Again, going back to one of the number one reasons to invest in precious metals is very low counterparty risk. Investing in bullion keeps your physical assets intact despite the performance of companies, banks, and governments. In government bonds, for example, and in corporations, your worth could be zero should the company or government become bankrupt. Your invested solvency is often dependent on their solvency. With bullion, assets are intact since there is very little, if not any, influence from other parties therefore no counterparty risk. What is the process to open an account with Questrade and Sprott Money? More details will be offered by Garrett after my presentation, but just to give you an overview, it's a very easy, straightforward setup. There will be some paperwork involved to open your Questrade account. That's obviously to sign an agreement authorizing Sprott Money to facilitate your precious metal order. Once Sprott Money receives confirmation from Questrade that your account has been opened and funded, we can proceed with the client to purchase the metal on your behalf. We will use the equivalent funds or whichever funds that are dictated to us to buy physical metal at the client's choice. So clients can decide on what metal, gold or silver, preference of product, whether it's a bar or coin, and denomination, whether it's a 1 ounce gold bar, a kilo gold bar, 10 ounce silver bar, just to name a few bar sizes that we have. The bullion, again, will be held at Brinks. It is, again, outside of the banking system. It's segregated and allocated in the client's name. The investor will be informed on all details of the bullion purchase, again, the product, denomination, and metal, and also where the bullion came from, so which refiner provided the product. As with other retirement accounts, the precious metals need to be held in a depository, and funds representing the value of the precious metals are locked in until retirement. An invoice will be provided by Sprott Money by way of email, itemizing each product that was purchased and the rate applied for each metal. Buyback of your precious metals is also straightforward, should that be a concern. We will buy back at spot bid, and the funds will be credited to your registered account by Questrade. No funds are exchanged between Sprott Money and Questrade's client. Only Questrade and the client investor will be handling the transfer and movement of funds. Does Sprott Money have any fees? No, we don't have any fees. The only fees or charge that we have is the equivalent of the funds that is invested with your account with Questrade. And again, we buy the equivalent in bullion.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Betty. So my name is Garrett. I'll be taking it from here to give a little bit of an overview of Questrade's affiliation here with Sprott, or how you can facilitate your precious metals investing with us. So just a little background there. My name is Garrett. I'm team lead in the new accounts department, and we'll go over a little bit of how Questrade works. So first, a bit of background about Questrade. Brief history. We're Canadian and privately owned, founded in 1999. We are the fastest growing online brokerage in Canada, recipient of Canada's Best Managed Company since 2011. Regulated security there, and we are an IROC member of the CIPF insurance. And we also have additional private insurance of $10 million per client. So a bit about our mission here at Questrade. Like I mentioned, founded in 1999. Pretty clear mission is help Canadians achieve financial independence. Do this by providing them with the best investment products, trading technology, and client services. Like I mentioned before, we are a member of IROC, the Investment Industry Regulatory Organization of Canada, and CIPF as well. Also participating organization of the TSX Venture, Montreal Exchange, and registered with the Securities Commission in every province within Canada. Industry ranking here, give a couple points. $5 billion in assets under management, roughly opening 30,000 new accounts every year. Top 2 in the Globe and Mail's annual online brokerage ranking, and shortlisting by Morningstar for the best online brokerage in 2015. So how we succeed? A couple points here on Questrade's business and how we've done so well. Undisputed and unmatched in industry innovators, an ambitious mindset, combining our focus on developing technology in-house. Our platforms are all built here with no third-party outsourcing. And they've allowed us to achieve a number of notable industry firsts. So one of the most common ones is the first broker for 95-cent trades, which now can get to as low as 1 cent. First to offer US dollars in registered accounts. That's all registered accounts. The first online broker to offer gold in registered accounts as well. Coming on to our affiliation here with Sprott, the only broker to rebate mutual fund fees.
A couple of points of success here. Our proud recipient of the Best Managed Companies, like I mentioned before. Money Sense magazine recently recognized Questrade for offering lowest commissions of any broker in Canada. And our CEO, Edward Volodenko, was the recent recipient of the UI Entrepreneur of the Year Ontario Services Category Award. So, I'm going to touch on some of the registered accounts as I mentioned before. Which registered accounts can I open at Questrade? So all the main ones you can get pretty much anywhere in Canada. Tax-free savings account is pretty common. Registered retirement savings plan, RRSP. So these include the individual as well as spousal and locked-in versions of those accounts. LIRA, locked-in retirement accounts. Usually these are based on provincial jurisdiction, noted there on the slide. RIF accounts, so individual, spousal locked-in, ERIF, RRIF. LIF accounts with all the jurisdictions, federal, all the way through the provinces shown. And RESP accounts, so education savings plans for individual and as well as family. So some of our more popular registered accounts are the tax-free savings account. A lot of clients and people might have heard of this account recently as well as in the past. The main benefit is that earning capital gains and dividends tax-free. Your contributions are non-tax deductible, so you're not penalized for any gains even if you withdraw them. You can invest up to $5,500 each year and carry any unused contributions forward from previous years. The current max contribution since 2009 is $52,000. They allow you to diversify and build a strong portfolio with stocks, options, ETFs, mutual funds, bonds, as well as precious metals. The next most common registered account is the RRSP, Registered Retirement Savings Plan. As well, might have heard of this account as well for your retirement, an account created by the government to help build a nest egg for the future. Contributions are tax deductible. You can build a diverse portfolio as well. Also, some of the same products, including options, ETFs, stocks, and those precious metals. There's no fee to open an account and no annual fee to maintain these accounts as well with Questrade. Coming up on another valid point with our registered accounts here. All registered accounts can hold U.S. currency, including the TFSAs. This is along with the Canadian currency. There's no two accounts needed for each individual currency. It all lays within the one account. The main benefit is avoiding forced currency conversion when trading U.S. dollars. Such as gold and silver, usually traded in U.S. dollar denominations. So we don't force convert back to a base currency and saving our clients on conversion fees. You can deposit U.S. funds into your account by transferring it from another account, another Questrade account, or even through an initial deposit as well. There are a number of different funding methods, and I'll touch on that a little bit more as well. All precious metal trades are U.S. denominated, so savings are realized through your U.S. dollar in RRSP program will add to your bottom line. This meaning, if you decide to be an active trader or an active investor, if you wanted to, let's say, sell some gold and reinvest in silver, we're not going to force convert your currency back, saving you on that currency conversion. So to touch on how to get one of these accounts opened up with Questrade, fairly straightforward process. We are a discount online broker, so a lot of the process is done online. Quite simply, you would create a user ID to start. It comes with some security features. You create some security questions and a password. Complete an online application requiring some information from our clients. This can take about 15 minutes through the online application, requiring SIN number, some banking information, and financial information. You can then sign your documents at the end after submitting the account. Depending on the type of account, most of our documents can be done via DocuSign, which is an easy process to click and sign your documents right through our online client portal. Other documents that you can submit can be done directly through the client portal as well, such as your valid photo ID, a bank statement, other account paperwork, and then the dealer authorization form, as Betty mentioned a little bit previously, which can be provided by Sprott Money so that our affiliation can be connected. The next step in the process would be then funding your account. The most common method for direct funding and initial deposits is through a bill payment. Same way you might pay a bill through your online banking. You add Questrade Inc. as a payee through your online bank account, referencing your 8-digit Questrade account number. This is provided to you after you submit the account online. And then this process can take about 1 to 2 business days, and it'll show up in your Questrade account. As I mentioned, easy as paying a cell phone bill, a hydro bill, something of that nature. The next method would be transferring assets or cash from another broker or institution. You can do this through the client portal as well, through our transfer wizard. Essentially, you'll pre-populate the transfer information right online. This will allow you to make sure everything is good prior to printing the form. You then print the form. We need your signature and authorization. This form can then be uploaded right back to your account through the client portal, making things fairly straightforward and streamlined. After that, you kind of sit back and relax on this method. In our transfers team here at Questrade, they're going to contact the institution where you're looking to transfer from. We will initiate that on your behalf. The transfer status can be tracked through your client portal as well, so you can see any updates in the progress of the transfer. Transfer times can vary between 1 and 3 weeks, depending on the securities that you're holding. Managing your account here at Questrade. So these are a couple screenshots of our client portal that you'll see. You can keep track of the positions, balances, any sort of investment growth and allocations. There's a number of different ways where you can analyze different aspects of your account, and there are a lot of visual diagrams as well. So buying precious metals at Questrade. You can use the RRSP and TSA. Gold and silver can be held within these registered accounts. So touching on what Betty was mentioning previously, the business you deal with Sprott is all held within the umbrella of your registered account here at Questrade. So the funds within the registered account, as I mentioned with deposits, can be used to buy and sell your precious metals. Trading precious metals with Sprott, you continue to contact Sprott Money to buy and sell your gold and silver, and they can assist you with different aspects on the pricing, as Betty mentioned previously. Sprott Money will contact Questrade to arrange settlement of that trade. So managing the precious metals in your accounts. The online client portal, as mentioned before, can give you some balances, position details. You also can get your tax contribution statements and slips. You get monthly statements that are sent out to all of our clients here, and a number of other information is all available through this client portal. So that, in a nutshell, is how to set up the accounts, kind of from start to finish, and how the process will go basically up until you can contact your Sprott dealer and then get invested in your precious metals. If you do have any other questions, the information on the screen now is to get a hold of us here in Accounts and Sales to make sure that the account does get open smoothly, and any other detailed questions can be answered in that way. And that in itself is a little bit on how Questrade works with Sprott Money.
Great. Thank you very much, Garrett and Betty, and thank you all for attending today's webinar. Really hope that you enjoyed this great information from Sprott Money. If you do have any questions about today's webinar, please contact Questrade directly. Either give us a call or email newaccounts@questrade.com. We'll be happy to help answer any questions you have. Thanks very much, and this concludes today's webinar.